Teacher a champion, behind every great mind is a teacher. It takes work but you show up when we need ya. So we got to support your goals, build your dreams and help you grow.
Welcome once again to the JTA Co-op Credit Union's discussion we're having today. We're talking with Miss Delia Gale Reed. Just to let you know a little bit about Miss Reed, she is the Parish Health Promotion and Education Officer for the Parish of Portland. Now, why are we talking to Miss Reed today? Our teachers, very valuable to us as an organization, and we want to make sure that we give them the best and that they are able to perform at their best. And one of the things that we have recognized, well, we all know that a person's health is their greatest wealth. And as a financial organization, we don't think about just the monetary aspect of a person's life. We also think about how they can remain healthy. And more so as a cooperative, as a credit union, we pride ourselves in positively impacting our members, their lives. And so we want to make sure that whatever we do, we think about the whole person. So our discussion with Miss Gale Reed today, Mrs. Gale Reed, is about she's going to share with us some tips, and she's going to share with us some things that our members, in particular, our teachers, and those who are in the education sector, things that they can do to keep themselves healthy. I want to tell you a little bit about Miss Gale Reed. She's going to tell you some more about herself, but just to let you know that in addition to being the Parish Health Promotion and Education Officer for Portland, she's also a member of the JTA Co-op Credit Union. She was actually one of our tertiary scholars, one of our awardees for 2024. So congratulations, Miss Gale Reed, on winning one of our scholarships for last year. That was absolutely amazing. I don't know if you mind just starting off by telling us how your program went.
Yes. So I'm saying I'm in my final year,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the final term of the final year. Okay, so big ups to JTA Cooperative Credit Union. JTA Cooperative Credit Union has been there for me now for over 12 years. And I can recall when I was just starting out without any financial direction. And I was informed by one of my colleagues to join the JTA. And since then, JTA has given my financial life so much direction, grounding, been there for me in my lowest of lows, helped me to build up myself financially. And it's like a family, where I can run to them when trouble strikes. Big ups to JTA Cooperative Credit Union. And I also want to say a big thank you because that scholarship has helped me to assist with my tuition, and I'm really grateful for that assistance.
Yes, absolutely. As you said, we're a family, so we support our members in various ways, many, many ways. And I'm so glad that you are one of our scholars and somebody who is out there, somebody that we can pull on with this wealth of knowledge that you have. And so I want to just jump right into the main reason for our discussion today, and that is the overall health and wellness of our members. And I want to start by asking you, in your line of work, in your profession, what you have seen, what you know, what are some key habits that persons can adopt to maintain good physical health while working long hours?
Okay. So let me give you a little bit of context as to what we do as health promotion and education officers. Is that okay?
Yes, that's absolutely fine.
All right. So I am a health promotion and education officer. And once you hear the word health promotion, it means that we promote health and wellness holistically. So we work in different settings. We work with different organizations and groups to promote overall health. So when we hear the word health promotion, we're speaking to the process of enabling people to increase control over and to improve their health to reach a state of physical, mental, social, and even spiritual well being. So, as health promotion officers, we conduct a lot of community interventions on the corner, walk and talk, information dissemination. We conduct capacity building and trainings. We conduct sensitization sessions. Or big thing that or big program that we operate also involves the Jamaica Moves program. Who knows Jamaica Moves? Jamaica Moves. So we conduct the Jamaica Moves program in workplaces, Jamaica Moves program in schools, Jamaica Moves program in communities. So, as a part of the Jamaica Moves program for the schools in which we operate the program, we often have programs for the teachers as well as the students. So this would involve the main areas of the Jamaica Moves program, which would be physical activity, nutrition, and age appropriate screening. So we have 21 cohort schools, which we work with regularly. However, we also work with so many other schools across the parish of Portland where we aim to impact lives positively with regards to healthy eating, getting persons involved in more physical activity, and conducting screening interventions. So we've worked with schools to conduct screening interventions for staff. We involve the parents as well, and for students, age appropriate screening. And we have found that this screening program is very important. It is now, the screening program is now, I'm not sure if you are aware of the Know Your Numbers initiative. Are you aware of the Know Your Numbers initiative, Miss Walker?
Yes, yes, I am. I'm aware of
Okay.
it.
And we conduct screening interventions in school. And if there is any school out there in Portland who would want some healthy lifestyle or wellness, whether it be capacity building, sensitization, education, physical activity, you can reach out to us as well. So we are, well, my base is at the Portland Health Department. And if you reach out to me there, well, regardless of whether you're in East, Central, or Western Portland, we can get something arranged where we can intervene in your school. So when we do the screenings, and I must tell you that it is concerning because I can recall going into schools to do some screening for teachers, and I tell you, when we look at the blood pressure readings for the teachers, I have to really wonder, if my blood pressure machine or the blood pressure machines that we use are something is wrong with them. Because when we look at blood pressure readings are so high amongst our teachers, it is very concerning. And it therefore means that something must be causing that extremely or elevated blood pressure readings amongst our teachers. And one of the biggest culprits that we can point towards is stress.
Sir, I was gonna ask you about stress because yeah, you had indicated to me previously that that is like one of the big big ticket items, one of the really big issues that you are seeing. So in your, you said that stress is a big contributor to the high blood pressure. This is what you know. So in your experience, is there anything that teachers can do to kind of minimize the kind of stress that they or to help themselves in this regard?
Sure. All right. So first, we have to know what is stress. So stress, it can be a state of worry or mental tensions caused by a difficult situation, can be situations at work where you have a heavy workload and our bodies respond in such a way that it helps us to try to cope with the situation or the problem or the workload. And in this coping mechanism, hormones are released in the body, some of them very harmful. And these harmful chemicals when they're released into the body, when we are triggered by this state of stress, these harmful hormones lead to elevation in our blood pressure, leads to the throw off of the balance of our other hormones. So we start feeling fatigued, we start feeling weak, we start feeling nauseous, we feel like we want to vomit, we feel like we can't cope. And it is therefore important to identify the main things that are causing the stress in your life. So if you cannot identify what is stressing you out, then you can't address the root cause of the problem, right? So stress is our body's response to all of this pressure, and it is often triggered when we are in this difficult situation or when we are met with something new or threatening or unexpected. And it helps to cause this overwhelming feeling, like you don't have control over the situation, or you feel helpless. Stress can be caused by the work, as I said, the workload. It can be caused by difficult co-workers, difficult bosses. It can be caused by conflict in the workplace. It can definitely be caused by having so many children to deal with on a daily basis. You're not only dealing with their educational needs, but you're dealing with their emotional needs. Some of them have behavioral problems. Some of them have so many other issues, and teachers are like the second parents for a lot of these children. So when the children come into the school, they come with all of the baggage and all of their stress as well. And when now all of this collides in the classroom, it may not turn out so well. Yes, so it may cause stress on the teacher. So stress can also be caused by the home, children and family in their home. Stress can be caused by relationship problems that teachers may be having. Stress can be, not even to mention financial troubles and bills. These are, especially these, we hear a lot of teachers talk about the little pay that they get. And they have all these bills, and the cost of living is so high. And, again, another cause is the being too busy, too many tasks, too many things to do. So all of this stress now can cause persons to even feel like they're sick even when they're not physically sick. They can dampen them mentally and cause them to feel even sick in their bodies. Can lead to depression. It can lead to great, even if it's not at a stage of depression, great sadness where, persons lose their joy, things that they used to find joy in. Like they don't want to do it anymore. I've heard teachers say, Lord, when it come on to even sex, their husband can't come near them because they're so packed up and tensed up and built up with pressure and stress.
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I don't know why you are the promotion and education officer. This is a wealth of information that you're sharing with us, and so many areas in life that can be stressful. And I just wanna say, just to put it back here, because here at the JTA Co-op Credit Union, we try to work with our members as much as possible. Because you did mention financial stress. And so we try to make sure that whenever we have interactions with our members, when they have to save with us or borrow from us or anything like that, we try to make it as stress-free as possible, because we don't want to be another stressor for our members. We understand the pain points that they face. And to be honest with you, I interact with a lot of teachers, and a lot of them, they will tell you that they've been teaching for 20, 30 years, and they stay in teaching because they love it. And sometimes even when they think about leaving, they think about their students, and they want to know what's going to happen to this student, so they want to see them through. And before you know it, there's another set that they want to see through. So it just keeps going like that, and they just stay in teaching because they do love it. But as you have pointed out, there are some areas in the profession that can be stressful. But I wanted to just find out from you just one or two things that you would recommend, just one or two things that teachers can do for themselves to minimize the stress that they will experience.
Okay. All right. So one, I would inform teachers, get help. If it's financial issues, get help. If it is emotional issues, find a counselor, a pastor, someone who you can talk to, someone who not gonna carry your business, go a road tomorrow and make the world know. Find someone who is trustworthy, who you can talk to, a counselor, someone, but seek help. Go to JTA if you're having the problems, explain it to them. I've done it countless times. And they always try to find a way to help. And I big ups to JTA Cooperative Credit Union again for that. All right. So some other tips that I may give quickly. Learn how to say no. You know that sometimes teachers have problems saying no. Sometimes a teacher will be carrying so much workload on them, so many things, and then the extracurricular activities, then there are so many tasks being padded on, and before you know it, you take on so many things and so many burdens on yourself that you feel like you're caving or drowning. So sometimes we have to learn how to say no. Say, for instance, I know you love the festival. And I know you love the extracurricular activities, and I know many things are happening at school. Yes, you want to help, but check your workload. And if you have too much, say no, right? Know your limits. And when you say no, you stick to it. Because somebody will come back to you, do me a beg you, man. So we need the help here. Sometimes you have to stand up for yourselves and learn how to say no. Another one. So you can avoid people who stress you out sometimes. So sometimes you may know that, listen, this person is a negative person. And if what they're coming with is going to cause you to feel stressed out or putting more stress on you, sometimes you you can avoid those. It's okay to avoid those persons who you see as going to add more stress to you, right? If you know that you are a person who becomes overly emotional in certain conversations, avoid certain button topics that will get you upset. So for instance, some people, they get upset when it comes on to religion or politics or school politics or, certain conversations. limit them, right? Pare down your to-do list. So analyze your schedule, the responsibilities that you have, your tasks. If there's too much on your plate, prioritize the ones that are most important and do those. You know what I hear one of my colleagues said? She got some leave and she said when she go home, she make friend with the dirt in her house because even the house chores can become stressful. Even the house chores can become burdensome. So if it is going to be stressful to you, you can do it another day. You don't have to do it all at once. Remember, we are human, right? Drop the tasks that are not truly necessary to be completed at that time. So we want teachers to know that, listen, cut down the list. Another one that I don't like. Teachers carry home too much work at the yard. Listen, when your husband want a little attention, your mark book, your mark project, you do this. Listen, leave the school or try to leave most. If it's even you can't leave all of it, leave most of it for school hours. Sometimes as teachers, what I find is that even our children suffer because we're caring for 20 odd, 40 odd, over 100 students at school. And when we reach home, we're so beat out and burnt out and tired that we can't even give our children the attention that they need. So leave the schoolwork at school and leave some home time for home. Another thing I will quickly move on to. Do something that gives you joy. Do something that makes you happy. Do something that gives you that laughter, makes you, give you fun. Yes, the bills have to pay. Yes, you have to pay the debts. But every month can't be the same. You must carve out a little time where you say, all right, I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to use a little money with my family and go to somewhere where I can have some fun and do some enjoyment. Some of us live right in front of the beach or right in front of the river. And it's years our foot don't touch the water. Sometimes we just need to take a little break. If it's even every week, find something that gives you joy. So put the stress, put the work down one side some of the time and give yourself time to breathe, time to
Wow.
just enjoy nature, time to look around and enjoy the simple things.
Wow, thank you so much, Mrs. Gail Reed. You mentioned a couple of things here. I was just making some notes just to reiterate, because what you're saying here is very important to just learn to say no, prioritize the most important task, leave work at work, leave it there. And this one is my favorite, to do something that brings you joy. It's very important for us to make sure that we have that time for ourselves. Do something to bring us joy. Okay, so I wanted to touch very quickly on nutrition. Is there anything that our teachers can eat to help them be more healthy?
All right. So, with regards to nutrition, and this is a topic in itself, and I would love for one of my nutrition specialists to if your feature can allow in another session to go into some in-depth and nitty-gritty with the teachers and eating healthy and for health and wellness overall with regards to nutrition, if that can allow.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, we would love to do that. Mm.
All right. So for now, I just want to, being that the time is limited, I just want to say this. Teachers, take your vitamins. As simple as it sounds, vitamins are important in giving us energy, giving us lowering all vitamins also help to lower the bad hormones in the body and give your body the ability to fight off infections and disease. So vitamins and minerals are key, important. One time when I was teaching, I felt so weak, I felt so down, I felt so sick, and I kept going and I kept going and I kept going, and I felt like I couldn't cope. at one point. And, I was informed to start taking my vitamins. And even as simple as it sounds, can we shake it off? Vitamins, sure. But you see, when I started and I do it routinely, daily, I found that I started to feel better. I could cope and I felt better overall. So vitamins does help.
Can you
Another
just, I'm sorry, before you move on, can you just tell us some of the key vitamins that we can, incorporate in our daily routine? Some of the major ones.
All right. So for vitamins, B vitamins are very important. So you can take a multi-mix of B vitamins, or if you're going individually, B12 helps a lot because B12 helps to give you energy and helps with conversion of food to energy. B6 is also important. So if you can get a good mix of B vitamins, it's very important for your energy levels. Also, teachers, we do a lot of mental work and physical strain, and we can develop nervous problems or problems with our nerves, whether it be in the legs or overall. It's important for the B vitamins for us to take them because that also helps. So B12 is important for nerves and for conversion of food to energy. Also, iron. A lot of Jamaicans, they're iron deficient. And iron deficiency can cause you to feel weak in your body. It can cause you to feel sick as well. So ensure that you are getting enough iron. Sometimes as Jamaicans, we don't get in the proper nutrition that we should. It's not sometimes that we don't have the foods around us, but sometimes even as teachers, they don't even take the time to eat, and take the time to, because they're at school, they're doing so many things. They grab and bite and go. Getting in your vitamins, your iron is very, very important. So your vitamin C is key because your vitamin C helps to fight off infection and builds up your immune system so that your body will be feeling better overall. So make sure you're getting your vitamin C, make sure you're getting your B vitamins, as well as you can get your B vitamins from your leafy green vegetables. Your dark green vegetables, your cereals are very important. For the men, ensure that you're taking your zinc because the zinc is important for building your testosterone, for building your masculine health. So let me say this, teachers, as key now, because this has to do now with the non-communicable diseases, the high blood pressure and the diabetes that I see a lot of it going on amongst our teachers. This is what I want you to say, and I want you to take it very seriously. Now, deficiency in magnesium, potassium, chromium, vanadium, and vitamin D. These deficiencies are the leading causes or some of the leading causes, or I don't want to generalize because I'm not a medical doctor, but from my information gathering, and these deficiencies have contributed to high blood pressure, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. So chromium, vanadium, it's not popular here in Jamaica, but you can order it online, ladies and gentlemen. Chromium, vanadium blend, magnesium, calcium, and zinc blend. These and vitamin D. These have been shown in many studies to lower blood pressure, lower blood sugar, lower your risk of developing diabetes and high blood pressure, as well as treating them. So for the diabetes, remember vanadium, chromium, you can order them, and vitamin D, key. When it comes on to high blood pressure and prevention and reduction of your pressure, potassium, magnesium, Zinc. Zinc is also important, not just for the men, but for conditions such as diabetes, hypertension as well. And vitamin D. I cannot stress vitamin D so much. And one thing I'm gonna leave you to go and check on inositol, and that is important for women who are experiencing problems with their reproductive system. So I encourage you to check on these key vitamins and minerals and take them. Don't brush it off as foolishness because they work.
Wow. Thank you so much. That's quite a mouthful. And you did indicate to me that, that part of the discussion is a big one. And we will be revisiting that conversation because there's a lot there that we need to kind of unpack. But in future dialogue, we will do that. I want to also just you mentioned we started out by talking about stress management. You talked about some of the things that contribute to stress and how this can affect our mental well-being. But what about our physical well-being, our physical activity? Teachers will say to me that they don't need to, they don't have the energy to do a lot of exercise, like when they go home to go jogging or go lift weights or anything like that. And besides that, when they are at school, they do a lot of walking because they're walking from one classroom to the other classroom, back to the staff room, all over the campus. Is that enough physical activity for a teacher?
So research has shown that to get the benefits or the max benefits out of physical activity, you have to have an elevated heart rate. So you're not going to be in your nice leisurely walking. You're not going to be in your leisurely standing. It is important because you burn more calories when you're standing or when you're moving. However, to get the health benefits, it is based on research stated that you must have an elevated heart rate for around 30 minutes or more to get the maximum benefits out of the physical activity. Because when the heart rate is elevated, then it means that you are getting in enough movement to get the body going, get the organs moving, get when you sweat, it's important because you remove toxins and you remove waste from out of the body. Your body is able to strengthen the heart, strengthen the lungs, getting nice oxygenated blood into the body. So it still is important to get your 30 minutes straight, right? If, however, you cannot get that 30 minutes straight, what we have been promoting is a step challenge. So if you can, or if you wish, we can provide that the step challenge routine with how many steps should be done per day over a month, and that can help to guide if you wish to use the steps to get in your physical activity. So we promote movement. You don't have to pay no big money at the gym, right? You can start a physical activity group at your school. And if you want, you can reach out to us and we can assist you where that is. So it is important because the physical activity, it not only builds you physically, the muscles and the brain, and gives you that focus and that clearness and reduces your stress, but it also helps you overall. It gives you good feelings. It releases endorphins into the bloodstream, and those are important for reducing the bad stress hormones, as well as helping to balance out everything on the inside, makes you feel better. And this can overall help to reduce non-communicable diseases such as high blood pressure, reduce your risk of stroke, cardiovascular disease, and makes you feel, it gives you energy. So the more you do routine physical activity, when you would feel burnt out and tired, it gives you more energy. And I've heard many speak of that when they're doing their exercise, it might make you feel tired in the moment. But after a week or around, once you adjust, after that adjustment period, like after a month, you start to feel better overall and you feel better able to manage the stresses that you are faced with.
Wow, that is that's very good information, Mrs. Gail Reed. I really like that. Well, all of your suggestions, but this one about group activities, partnering with your workmates, and perhaps doing something with them to get, because there's motivation when you have numbers. There's strength in numbers, and so
Yeah.
you'll be more motivated to keep your activity going if you have a few of your colleagues who are joining you on that journey. I want to ask finally if there's anything that
Oh,
you think, I don't know if there's anything else you want to say after this, but my final question, is there anything, what are some of the warning signs that a teacher can look out for? Because sometimes we have a big crash and there were little things that our body was telling us these sorts of things before, and we were ignoring it. Is there anything that we can look out for? I know everybody is different, so it's not a one size fits all, but maybe there are some general things that can happen to all of us that we can look at to say, oh, I need to kind of take a break. I need to do something for myself. What are some of the things that we can look out for?
okay. So some of the things that you may experience when you're feeling stressed, or you may be feeling burnt out, um, will include memory loss. So you find that you're not remembering things readily, or you feel slow mentally. That is one of the symptoms. You feel slower mentally, brain fog. You're feeling as though something is wrong. You can't focus. You feel as though you probably could do certain tasks without feeling burdened, and all of a sudden you start feeling burdened to do certain tasks. Constant worries are not another one. You worry a lot, and that worrying just leads to more worrying. And I try to tell people sometimes, leave it to God. If it is something that JTA Credit Union cannot help you with, or your pastor or family friends can't help you with, we need to pray, and we need to trust God more. Building our faith is important. Another symptom of high stress is biting your nails. Biting the nails. You feel pessimistic. You feel something bad going to happen. You look at the world like everything is going bad. Everything is not going good. Everything is wrong. Scratching of the skin, picking or itching the skin. That is another sign. Finding it hard to make decisions. That's another one. Unable to concentrate. Grinding your teeth or clenching your jaw. You just, somebody not do you nothing, they just ask you a simple question, you snap at them, you burst out and you start cursing. You're more irritable, you are more angry than usual. These are some symptoms of stress. Another one, you get heart palpitations. You feel as though your heart is boom, 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 beating faster than usual. Boom, 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 boom. You feel short of breath. These are some serious symptoms of stress, you know. You feel weak, weakness in the body. You feel sick in the body. You go to the doctor and they tell you that your pressure all right or something is okay, but you still feel like something is wrong. You feel fatigued. These are some symptoms of stress. High stress can make you feel like you're getting a heart attack. So therefore, these are some symptoms of stress, and there are others, of course, but these are some that you can look out for. Okay?
Whoa, that is a very long list. That is, but as you were talking, I thought to myself, but a whole heap of people walking around with stress because
Mm,
a lot of people that we encounter, even in our daily lives, they exhibit two or three of these symptoms that you have listed here.
yes.
Wow. So I think it's time for most of us and our teachers in particular to take a stock of what is really happening to us. Let's look at ourselves and see, because I'm sure some of these things that you have outlined here, they have we have experienced. I know for myself, I experienced brain fog. Sometimes
Yes.
I can't remember. I get up and I go over there to get something and I
Yes.
can't remember what it is that I wanted. And I have to come back and sit down and do something else and then it might come back to me. So I know what it is all about. But I want to thank you so much, Mrs. Gail Reed, for sharing these wonderful tips with us and just really educating us about stress, about health and wellness. And we do want to continue this conversation and pick up more in depth on nutrition. But before you go, I want to ask you, I know you were a teacher. You are still in education, even though you're no longer in the classroom, you still do educational work.
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to know, how long were you teaching?
Okay, so I taught for around 3 years.
Mm,
And after that, oh, you want to know how I got into health?
yeah.
Okay. So the last school that I was at, the ministry began the downsizing of the primary and junior high schools. And the high school part, the junior high part of the school that I was at, it was removed. So only the primary part was left. So they discontinued the junior high and renamed the school to primary, right? So I was at the junior high level of the school, and as a result, relocation began. So teachers were being relocated. Teachers that were permanent were being relocated to other high schools. Those were at the junior high level. They were reassigned to or relocated to different high schools. However, I was not permanent at the school. So unfortunately, I just lost my contract that I was on. And I heard about health promotion and education, and I trusted God, and I made the move, and I ended up here in health promotion and education, and it has been wonderful. I have worked with so many schools, almost all the schools across the parish of Portland. So I'm in the schools as a part of the Jamaica Moves in School program and school health programs and workplace wellness programs. So I'm in the school, but not one school. So it gives me such excitement to go to different schools and different teachers and different students, different environments. So that is in a nutshell how I ended up in health.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for telling us about that. So it just shows that there's, as an educator, there are so many avenues for persons to make use of. But we love our teachers, we love them in the classroom. You sound like you were an excellent teacher in the classroom. So
As so many of our other teachers out there have
yes,
been. And
yes,
health promotion is in each parish across the island.
right. That's the next
So
question I was gonna ask.
yes, whichever parish you are in, and you need to reach out to any health promotion and education officers for the school health program or the Jamaica Moves in School program or workplace wellness amongst your staff. You can reach
Mhm.
out to the health department in your parish and inquire about the health promotion and education department.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mrs. Gail Reed. We look forward to talking with you again because this is so much information that you've given us. There's just there's more to come. So, listeners, thank you for joining us and do enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Yes.
Every teacher a champion. Behind every great mind is a teacher. It takes work, but you show up when we need ya. So we got to support your goals, build your dreams, and help you grow. We celebrate you, and we got to let you know, more than a member, you are family. At the JTA Credit Union, you can count on us to serve you. You make the difference for everyone. Every teacher a champion. JTA Co-op Credit Union, serving our members, impacting lives positively.